was a kid growing up in a religious home, we thanked the tribal war god of Abraham for everything. If we were having a meal, we thanked God for the meal and all the various components thereof. Frequently, that included an animal who gave its life to make our meal possible. Gee, thanks God. If the person saying the prayer didn't cook the meal, then the prayer included a thank you to God for the person cooking the meal, etc. I want all of that to stop. Of course, it ended for me when I stopped believing in God, but I think it's clear that even believers should stop this nonsense of thanking God for this or that, anything really. Why? Because it's evident to me that God owes us everything, and I mean absolutely everything. Not only that, but we all deserve far more than God is currently providing, meaning we shouldn't just stop thanking Him, we should be demanding more. First of all, I didn't ask to be here. You didn't either. None of us did. This might sound like mere assertion, but there's nothing in the 3+ millennia's worth of ever-evolving theology regarding the tribal war god of Abraham to suggest we were ever instantiated prior to this existence, told how awful things might be, and then given the opportunity to make a conscious and informed decision to come here. At some point in the gestational process, we all just awoke, as it were, in a situation for which we were given no choice. Every parameter of the various circumstances into which we're born was determined and chosen for us by the tribal war god of Abraham, whose sovereignty is unabridged. Our parents, our genes, our intelligence, or lack thereof, our appearance, our talents, our health, etc. Everything we were at the moment of birth was God's doing. On top of all that, and along with never having been given the opportunity to choose whether we'd like to be in the first place, we're all born, according to the Christians, behind the 8 ball, infected with the original sin of Adam and Steve, a disease which not only keeps us right from the very beginning from communion with God, but gives us a sinful nature where we prefer sin over communion with God. This infection of original sin and the sinful nature we're born with also puts us in a position of potentially infinite jeopardy, depending on the kind of Christianity we're talking about. Some Christians believe this could lead to eternal conscious torment. Some believe this will simply but forever keep us from communion with God. Others believe we'll suffer only for a time, after which we'll ultimately be welcomed into the presence of God. Whatever the case may be, we're all born into a state of very, very deep doo-doo. And again, none of us had any say in any of it, which means God, if He is indeed a just, fair, and loving God, owes us all for everything and has moral obligations to us, not the other way around. The proof of this is the crucifixion. What all-powerful super being would submit to being tortured and killed by his own puny creations if he weren't absolutely, unquestionably obliged to do so? God had to come down and pay that price because that's what justice demanded. God could do nothing but make up for the horrible situation into which we'd all been placed by Him without our awareness or consent. Additionally, since none of us did anything causal to put ourselves in such a position, we did nothing to infect ourselves with the original sin or a sinful nature, then there's nothing for us to do to extract ourselves from this state, even if we had the power to do so. Which means a just God can only be a universalist God, who saves everyone as a matter of sheer obligation. Because He owes us, all of us. So whether you're a Christian or not, it's time to stop thanking God for anything. He owes us everything. And as a just and loving God, He's been obliged from the very beginning to make sure we're all taken care of. Perhaps not here in this life, but certainly for all eternity. especially me, because I'm the one who figured this out and passed it on to you. You're welcome, big guy. Once again, I'm me. Thanks for watching.